Welcome to all of you. Myself Dr. Neha Desai, Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Srirampur. In the last lecture, we have started with the size exclusion chromatography topic from paper number CHA 392. In that, we have completed the principle for size exclusion chromatography. Now, the next part from the syllabus is the calibration chromatogram. So here in size exclusion chromatography, the time required for the development of a chromatogram is known as the breakthrough time. So the column which is used in the size exclusion chromatography, it is basically the porous column, and the column can be calibrated by using a text mixture of the compounds according to the type of a compound that you want to separate. So calibration chromatogram in case of size exclusion chromatography, column is calibrated So this column is calibrated by using a particular text mixture. This text mixture is passed through the column, and then according to by passing the text mixture, the column it separates the component depending on their specific size. So here the size of a column plays a very important role, that is the molecular size as well as the molecular mass of the compound that will decide whether the given specific porous nature of a column it should be selected for the analysis, or we have to find out another porous type of a column. So while calibrating the column for the size exclusion chromatography, initially we have to see some of the things. So what are these things? The first is one component it should be excluded. This is the first thing. Then second is several components partly penetrate through the pores. Then one component completely penetrates to the stationary phase. So one component is excluded, several components partly penetrate through the pores, and one component it completely penetrates through a stationary phase. After this, the molecules with a degree of polymerization N in between the 14 and 1, they are eluted by using the volume between V1 and V0. So the V0 minus V1 that will corresponds to the pore volume, which is represented as Vp for the stationary phase. So the pore volume plays a very important role in case of size exclusion chromatography. So for this, initially we have to consider V0, V1 and Vp. Vp, it is nothing but the pore volume of a column, and this pore volume of a column Vp, it is nothing but V1 minus V0. This difference between these two, that will give you the pore volume, and the value of pore volume, it will determine whether your compound is accessible through pass through the pore or it is not accessible to pass through the pore. Hence, smaller is the size for the molecule, then larger is the elution time, and the compound, it will be separated at last. And along with this, when larger is the size, then these compounds, they are excluded at first. So this is about the calibration of a column, that is the effective separation in between the different molecules depends on the pore volume as well as the molecular size in case of size exclusion chromatography. So first you have to find out the pore volume, and then you have to determine the size of a particle. Now after this, the second is molecular mass determination by using the size exclusion chromatography. So size exclusion chromatography, it has found the most important application, that is determination of a molecular weight or a molecular mass. So for that purpose, an unknown fraction of the substance can be characterized by using the molecular mass distribution of a polymer material. So here the molecular mass distribution of a material is done by comparing the sample chromatogram and the calibration graph. So the different molecules may have a different mass for a specific elution volume. So whenever you are eluting the different types of molecules through the size exclusion chromatography, then all these different types of molecules, they are having a specific mass, and they can be determined by using the standards which are converted into the another products. So if you see the polystyrene, then when you are doing the polymer determination, molecular mass determination of a polymer, say for example you are dealing with the polystyrene, then what is the nature of a graph obtained and what are the conclusions that can be drawn, that we will see. Suppose you are analyzing the polystyrene molecule by using the size exclusion chromatography, then this polymer polystyrene, it can be converted into the different products. Okay, so all these different products, they are having a different molecular weight. all these products, they are converting into a different molecular weight, and for that you can compare the molecular weight of all these and you can calibrate the column. After calibrating the column, what is the nature of graph obtained? Suppose if you see the graph in this region, then so this is Vp, that is pore volume. It is the difference between the V0 and the V1. Then the upper line, it will represent the exclusion limit. Exclusion limit means the larger molecules which are not accessible to the pore volume, they are directly excluded through the chromatographic column. So the upper line, it represents the exclusion limit, the lower line, it represents the penetration limit. So the smaller molecules, they can be easily accessible through the pore volume, and so that they can penetrate through the volume. So this line, it will represent the penetration limit, difference between the V0 and V1, that is Vp. So this graph, this line, it represents the Vp. Now if you compare in terms of the molecules, then what is the case? This area is important. Here the separation, it is carried out according to the molecular size. Then the lower region, that is smaller molecules which are easily accessible. And the upper region, it represents the large molecules which are excluded. So in the last lecture we have seen, that is, we have to consider the diameter of a pore as well as you have to consider the molecular size. So when the R of a pore is greater than the R of a pore, it is greater than the R of a molecular size, then it is not accessible. So all the larger molecules, they are excluded. So this line represents the exclusion limit. Now after that, when the particles, they are having the medium size, then middle sized particles, they can be penetrated and you will get a well resolved chromatogram depending on the size of a particle in this region. And very small particles which are easily accessible, they will be eluted at last, and the time taken is known as a breakthrough time. So this graph represents the molecular mass determination by using the size exclusion column, or it is known as the calibration graph. Calibration graph for size exclusion chromatography. So by using this graph, you can determine the molecular mass as well as the molecular mass distribution. So the determination of a molecular mass as well as the molecular mass distribution, it is a very important application of the size exclusion chromatography. This calibration graph is completely based on the elution volume, and elution volume, it must be determined by taking the log. Okay, so for size exclusion chromatography, the penetration limit, exclusion limit, and whether the molecule which is given for the analysis is accessible through the pore volume or not, it is very important. Apart from this, there is no any interaction in between the stationary phase or in between the mobile phase of a material. So just you have to consider the elution volume, and elution volume, it is a function of log, and hence you have to use a very small amount of volume to avoid the errors in the size exclusion chromatography. So this is the second thing that we have to consider while determining the molecular mass of a substance by using size exclusion. So apart from the molecular weight and the molecular size distribution or a pore volume, the next thing that you have to determine, it is about the elution volume. And this elution volume, it is a function of log. So at that time you will consider very small amount for the elution or very small amount of volume for the elution in case of size exclusion chromatography. Now along with this, the second is you have to also consider the pump, and what is the you have to control the pump in case of size exclusion chromatography. So some minor things that you have to control, it is about the pump which is used in case of size exclusion chromatography. Along with that, the next thing is the thermostatic control. So pump and the thermostatic control of a system, they should be considered for the size exclusion chromatography. Now this is one part by using which you can determine the molecular mass of a substance. Now what is the second alternative? Second alternative is simple and low cost one. For that purpose, what you have to do, after passing your sample through the detector, the eluent, it is channelized through the 1 to 5 ml of a siphon. So you will pass it through 1 to 5 ml of a siphon after passing it through the detector, and then as soon as the detector, it will detect the signal, that time is marked. And after doing the process of marking, the elution volume is determined. And after determining the elution volume and as well as the elution time, the elution time is a direct characterization or a direct function, and therefore you have to just focus on the eluent, pump head and the column, and all these aspects, that is eluent, pump head and the column, all these three aspects, they should be thermostat. They should be thermostat, and after obtaining all these, that is eluent, pump head and column, when you are doing a thermostat edit, then the retention volume is more accurate and you will obtain the more accurate result after doing the process of thermostating. So a material which is completely penetrative, it should be used for the determination of the molecular mass, or simply you can say the number of theoretical plates. Generally, the number of theoretical plates present in size exclusion chromatography, they are lower than the normal HPLC technique or other methods used in HPLC. So if you want to determine the number of theoretical plates in size exclusion chromatography, then you have to select the material which is completely penetrative through the porous column of size exclusion chromatography. So this is all about the molecular mass determination by using the size exclusion chromatography. Now the next point is, what are the applications of size exclusion chromatography? So now we will see the applications. So the first is characterization of the samples of the biological origin is done by using the size exclusion chromatography. Along with this, the preparation, isolation of individual proteins is done. That is preparative isolation of individual proteins is done. Along with this, the analysis of the synthetic polymers with a size exclusion chromatography is possible. So analysis of a proteins is done by using the size exclusion chromatography. Then the most important application is in the polymerization reaction. So the size exclusion chromatography is used for the polymerization reaction. Along with this, it is used for the molecular mass distribution. Size exclusion chromatography, it is also used for the determination of fruit juice analysis. So it is used for the determination of a fruit juice analysis. Then it is also used for the analysis of a flavoring agent or a stabilizer. Along with it, the size exclusion chromatography, the columns which are available for the size exclusion chromatography, they are entirely different as compared to the all other. Then it is also used for the analysis of a complex mixture. So this is all about the different applications of size exclusion chromatography. Mainly they are used for the analysis of a biological samples, then to carry out the polymerization reaction, then to analyze the complex mixture. The main application is in the field of polymerization and the molecular mass distribution. Thank you.